Hi Julia Watts here, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video we're going to be looking at the new Sentimentally Yours Charming 2 collection, which you can see on my map behind the titles there. And I'm not going to actually do a demo in this video as such. I'm going to take you through the dies and then I'm going to pull the dies out and we're going to work through some combos, which is what I tend to do when I get layering dies like this, and it kind of gets your juices going and gives you some ideas of how the combos work together, because as a collection they work really well all together, and if you can mix and match, then it gives each set more value, in my opinion. So there's 5 sets in this new collection, and you will find them over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk while stocks last, and you'll also find them over at Honeypot Crafts as well. So first of all, let's look at the Charmed Rectangles 2. So many of you may well have the original Charmed collection. There were a lot more different shapes available in that one. It's very rare now. It's not available anywhere unless you can find them secondhand. So it's great to have this new Charming collection. So all the shapes, and there's rectangles, squares, circles and ovals, have 9 dies in them, and a A5 magnetic sheet. I always stick mine to the sheet so that all the packaging's together and I can see exactly what I should have in my set. And Phil has actually done these, as you can see, with the A5 magnetic sheet, so it's gonna fit on an A5 card blank. Whoop, whoop. Well done, Phil. That's what we want. So we have, each set will have an outer die, and so this will leave a solid space inside. It doesn't cut a frame, it leaves a solid space inside, and it will give you this lovely kind of multi-level circle frame to it. And then the next die in will cut you a mat, and it does give a really nice single deboss. I'll show you a square that I've got cut out. You can see, there we go, just a single deboss. So it's not a double deboss, it's a single deboss, but that little bit of detail does actually set this set off from other layering sets, I think. Really lovely. So obviously you can use this portrait or landscape. We've got 1, 2, 3 pairs as such, and then this one will cut just a kind of an embellishment die, if you like. I've got an oval one here that I can show you. Here we go. I can pick it up. There's an oval one there. Let's just put it down there for you. So this is the same kind of thing, but in a rectangle. And then you do get to fit within that if you want to. So this could be like an accent, if you like. And to fit within that, you do get a nice sentiment die there, and then you've got another embellishment die in the middle. Rather than waste that space, you've got another embellishment die in the middle there. So that's the rectangles. I will just turn them that way as well, because sometimes you can't visualize it if you don't actually see it. So that's the rectangles. Remember, A5 card blank. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yes please, thank you Phil. That's that one. Then we've got the ovals. Same kind of thing, again 9 dies, and again you've got 1, 2, 3 different size ovals. Remember, ovals and rectangles can differ between manufacturers and also within different collections. Circles and squares are always circles and squares, so you can mix and match really easily. So once again, you've got this embellishment die, which I've just shown you cut out, and then you've got an accent here as well. And of course you've got the oval. They've all got the same mechanics. And then my favourites are the circles and the squares, because like I say, you can mix and match across different shapes that you've got. Here's your circles. Again, lovely embellishment die in the middle. And then your accent. You've got a little tiny accent there. on that set. And then my absolute favourite, which is the square. Square cards are just fantastic. So this will fit, let me just double check I'm telling you the right thing. I believe this fits on a 6x6. Yeah, this will fit on a 6x6 card. It's got to, because it's on an A5 magnetic sheet. Yeah, so once again, you've got your 3 layers, you've got your embellishment one here. And remember, you can chop into that, so you can make corners if you want to. So you could just chop that in half and make that as a corner. And then you've got your embellishment, and you've got your little kind of almost like photo frame square there in the centre. So those are all your shapes, your 4 shapes. And then you've got a border set, which is really like a Brucey bonus, I think, to have the borders. There's just 4 sets in here, and you can see from these that these are going to be quite intricate. I would suggest actually that you do, if you've got like a metal cutting plate, that you do actually use that in your sandwich when you're cutting the dies, just to save you having to go through loads of times, really. And then you've got this one. Then this is similar, but obviously we've got the different outside designs to the original charmed border. I don't think it had this cutaway in the centre here, but the big thing about this is that you can either cut yourself a solid and then put your solid either on top as a small border or underneath to have the colour showing through the holes there, or this one will actually fit in the centre beautifully like that, so you can give yourself like a double border accent. And obviously you don't need to use it can be as long as you want to, because if you've got a topper on top of it, you can actually cut it and make it longer. I think they're just about 8 inches long in real money, but I don't think it doesn't put real money on here. 200 millimeters, I think that's 8 inches, because 21 centimeters is 8 1/4. Anyway, so there's your 4 borders. So those are your sets, your borders, your squares, your circles, ovals, and rectangles. Now, Phil's collections have been super popular just recently. So it is really, if you want it, get it. I hate to say it in January, but you know, if you want it, get it. So once again, you can find it over on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, or over on the Honeypot's website as well. So let's look at some combos. Let's do what I normally do when I get my new dies. I'll go this way with the rectangles because I think it's going to be easiest for us to see. So we grab a rectangle. So remember, if you've got an A5 card, it's an A4 folded in half, isn't it? So let's pretend this is our card front then, okay? Whichever way you want to put it. So we've got that lovely intricate outside. Remember, this is solid on the inside. It doesn't cut it out. If you do cut the two together, you'll end up with a very skinny frame. Very skinny frame. If you want a wider frame, what you can do is take these dies so you can get your shape, your your equal borders. I'm sure there's a better way to phrase that. And then you can take that one there like that. And then what you can do is you can lift this away, and you can lift that one away, and you can make yourself a bigger frame like that. So there's your decorative frame. Easy peasy. Or of course what you can do is you can just simply just cut these out, just alternate them. So I don't know, you might want to have mirror card, white card, mirror card, white card, and then you can just keep on going, just stacking them up like so. It's moved. Easy peasy. See that this isn't rocket science, isn't it? Is it? But you know you're going to get something really special. And then this here can frame your sentiment, and your sentiment can go on here. Easy peasy. Nothing difficult about that. You think, oh Julia, I could see that on my magnetic sheet, but you know, when you put it on white card, it does look slightly different. Obviously, if the dies are thicker than what you're going to get, it's going to be more delicate. I will show you one. I'll show you. I've got a square here cut out. Grab one. demo I'm going to record for you. There you go. So here's a lovely square. Let's put it down here. So you can see it is quite delicate and quite beautiful. He's on a winner. So that would be the outside of your square, okay? So let's put that to one side. I'm going off at a tangent before I need to. I'm going to work this way because I want to. So let's put this on here. We can see the whole thing. Right, okay. So that's the biggie. And then that's going to go like that. So we're going to now start mixing and matching because we can. So let's grab, what should we grab? Let's grab an oval. Ovals and rectangles work really well together. Now, if you were to grab the big one, you're actually going to go outside. So you probably don't want to do that because it is quite a big oval. Bill likes his big cards. So if you go down one, you can then pop that in here. You can see that that's the centre of your rectangle. So you can pop the top wobbly bit, if you like, of your oval and line it up with that, and then hopefully your oval is square. It's quite hard to get ovals lined up. And then you can take this one like so. You can bring in, again from the rectangles, you could bring in your embellishment here, which would be quite nice to have. You could put a big verse in there if you wanted to, or you could then go again and go down a size and do a smaller sentiment if you wanted to. Pop that in there like that. So that could be a smaller sentiment. You think, oh, I still haven't got a sentiment that's that size. I don't want to do that. So then, of course, you can bring in that lovely embellishment die, and then you can pop that there like that, and then you can have your sentiment on there, and that's going to look absolutely stunning, isn't it, for a special card? So you can do that. So you can also, let's fetch these out. This is the time-consuming thing, putting them back on the magnetic sheet. Otherwise, I'm going to be in a mess. So apologies for this. I've just noticed I didn't poke something out of my oval. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Right, so we've got that there like that. What we can also do is change the orientation, obviously. So have the orientation so it's this way. And you can probably get, if you wanted to, you can probably do a triptych. So pretend that I've got 3 of these. If they don't quite fit, remember they're going to be smaller anyway. So if they don't quite fit, what you could do, imagine there's another one here. I haven't got another oval. If I'd Phil has 2 sets of everything, so I'd be able to show you. But you can just overlap this one here and have another one here, and then perhaps have a sentiment here. So you could use, you can either stamp a sentiment or perhaps bring in, that's a little bit big, but perhaps do a sentiment or one of the frame sentiments like the happy birthday, the just for you or something like that, and have that down here. And remember that I'm thinking about having another oval here, so you can have, like I say, you can have a triptych. Oh, this would be very nice too, because this actually cuts out, if I've got one here, I haven't got one in front of me. This does actually cut out like an inverted scallop border here. So you could have like 3 photographs there if you wanted to. You know, if there's three grandchildren or something, you could do that. So that's an idea for that. You can, of course, if you wanted to, forget about the ovals, which would be very rude to forget about the ovals. And we could, let's change the orientation again. Let's see what we could probably do. You can have a border. Let's have a border. Obviously you cut it off what you don't want. You can have a border perhaps down here in the bottom third, so it doesn't look weird. Some of these ideas I haven't really thought of before, so they're kind of coming as I'm playing. So you could take, let's see, let's have this size circle. Put a circle in the top, and that could be with your sentiment. Maybe bring that down a wee bit more so it's a little bit, and then you could have another embellishment row or something. Lifting this up as I go along. I do love this one. I do love this one. So you can, maybe not, but what we could do is bring in that sentiment there. So you could perhaps have, I don't know, one of the sunflowers as a topper there. And then you could bring in a sentiment down here. So there's another kind of layout. Obviously that wouldn't be that wide, you'd chop that down. But there's another layout for you. So that's a couple of plays with the rectangles. I'm going to shift to the squares now because they're my favourite. Squares always sell out the quickest. But I think because now Phil's done these rectangles as an A5, I think people are going to want the A5 as well. So it's really, and because they mix and match really well with the ovals, I think people are going to just want, I think you're going to want more, aren't you? And remember that the other Charmed collection is not available anymore. So I have actually, I don't have some of my Charmed anymore. I've just kept the circles and the squares because that's what I love. I don't have the space. Right, onto our squares. Favourite. Remember they're 6 by 6. So you don't have to use this if you don't want to. Remember, squares are squares. So you could actually bring in, let me grab them. If you didn't want the deboss, you could actually go to, say, your double stitch, not that one. So these sizes won't necessarily fit so well. So that would give you a slightly bigger border around the edge. So you could have your deboss double stitched in there, and that's going to give you obviously that deboss double stitched detail. Because the square is a square. Remember, square is square, the circle's a circle. So you can mix and match. Brilliant. So we could have this here like that. We could bring in the next one, and you can either just stack them as is, because you can see everything on your magnetic sheet is like your first prompt. The way they're stored or layered up is your first prompt to actually think about what you're doing. Then you could actually swivel them. So this is the middle point. What's that there? And that's the middle point of that one. So they will overlap slightly. So you can swivel them and you can have that like so. You can also, over in the circles, there's this little icon here. This will just about fit in the corners underneath there. So that would give you a little icon if you cut that for each corner, and that would fill that in nicely. The square one's a little bit big, but the circle one's fab. And then obviously you could then swap again if you wanted to, and you could go onto this, like so. And then you can frame a little sentiment that you then pop in the middle. Just swivelling that one, oops, let's bring that down a bit for you. Just swivelling that one there gives you a totally different layout. Isn't that beautiful? It's lovely. Magic. Love it. Love my squares. Right, so we can also bring in, let's just leave that one as it is, because we can. We can also bring in some circles. So you could pop a circle in the middle here. And then you can give that a bit of a frame and have a teeny tiny sentiment in there if you wanted to. Or, now we do like, now remember, circles are circles, squares are square. You'll get fed up with me saying that. What you can also do is bring in your layered differently dies. So you've got your graceful squares, and you've also got your Regency squares as well. And remember, the middle bits are more circular on these. So we could bring in this one here from the Regency, and we can also bring in this one here, like so. and then you can either have them like that or you can offset them. And then this largest one here in the graceful squares, the largest circle there, is the one that fits the sentiment coins. So let me grab a sentiment coin, giving away all my demo secrets. So this is that largest one. So oops. So we can then pop that in there if we wanted to, and then that's gonna, let's knock up a bit, and then that's gonna give you a beautiful card again. So remember, mix and match, mix and match. So let's just leave that there for a minute again. And then we'll bring in, let's put these back in the Regency so that I do still have some of the Layered Differently dies left in stock. So look, you can also take, let's see, this one, well, that one won't fit. It's how you play about. You can also take this one. This one will fit in there. So you could then forget about having such a decorative piece, and you can just bring in your Layered Differently and having them sit in the centre. That gives you a more masculine feel to it, I think. So you could do that. Mix and match. Let's get rid of some of the squares for now. So let's get rid of this one. I hope you're finding this useful. Do comment. I do love to read your comments. It might not necessarily get displayed straight away. Dirty piece now. Let's turn that over. Wonderful pure white card. Right. We have that there, and then we can put this circle here. Remember, that's your centre point. So you can either have your point of your circle going top and bottom, or you can have that, shift it so that the indented bit is in line there like that. And then we can have that, and we can go back to the Regencies, and then I think it's that one. Yeah, let's take out this one here, and this is the smallest but one of the Regencies. Now that just about fits. So if you actually went to the smallest Regency, inverted scallop, so you see Phil hasn't designed them to necessarily work together, but they will do. So that will give you a different look inside. You can even still have that one and have that one if you wanted to, or you can have your bigger border. Oh, fingers, 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 fingers. So that's quite a nice thing to do. Let's go for, not even putting them away now, flying by the seat of my pants. That one's too big. That's the largest one. So that's the largest but one. Again, I can have my points lined up with that centre bit there. Then I can bring in that, or can I? No, I don't want to bring in that. That's not going to happen. Let's bring in, oh, I'm getting in a mess now. Getting too excited. Let's bring in that one. So we maybe bring in the next bit, one of the Regencies. No, that's the next. Got that one. I want this one. No, I want that one. This one. So that's the next but one of the Regencies. So I'll stack those up, and then we can go for our piece there, and maybe, you know, bring in the ones like I did before. So bring in these, this, or even that one to sit in there like that. That's too big, but we can take that, maybe bring in from the graceful one of the circles, that one. See, mix and match. It's a lot of fun, actually. This is the best thing when you get your dies, when the new ones arrive. is having a play and making a mess, which is that one that goes there, and seeing how they work together, because they really, really do work together beautifully. And I'm just really, this is like the tip of the iceberg, as the saying goes. I'm just giving you some ideas as I'm thinking. I've not written all these down, so I might have to watch back so that I can remember what it is I've shown you, so that I can use it. But really, really good fun. So on this vein, let's just quickly go back to, I mean, of course you could, let's see, let's just grab this quickly. Let's see if this will work. Back this on here, and then we could go back to our squares, and we could take that, here we go, you could take that and pop that in the centre, and then either stamp in there, or you can raise up the fall away piece that comes from there, or you can pop a sentiment in there like that, so that works too. So you just thought of that one. It's just, oh, I'm so excited about these dies. There are loads. There's going to be loads and loads of videos using these, not just from myself. There will be some from the other members of the design team. Obviously Phil will do some too, but it's such, who'd have thought that layering dies would be so exciting, but I'm really, really buzzed about them. So before we just sign off, let me just grab, it would be in another box. So we're still on the subject of layered differently here with the charms, because they work with the charm collection. So we go back to our wonderful rectangles, because these are the layered differently rectangles. We've got the elegance rectangles, and we've got the ornate rectangles as well. So of course this is going to be a frame. Let's have it this way. This is going to be a frame, not a frame as such, but this is, you know, framing our work, if you like. So remember, this one's solid and this one's solid, so they're just stacked up. So if you then take from your layered differently, that one's a bit big, but there's nothing stopping you having a bit of an overlay if you want to. Remember, this is the center point of your rectangle, so you can just line your points up, and they line up there, and then that gives you that. And then if you miss two and pop them down like that, then you've got yourself a frame. Then what you can do is bring in perhaps an oval. I don't know if this one will fit. That one's a bit big. So what we can do is take this lovely frame, and then we can pop a sentiment in the centre there. That's going to work, isn't it? And obviously you can change your orientation, and so you can have it that way instead. Okay? And then obviously you can do exactly the same thing with the other one. Like I say, this is just me thinking off the top of my head. No, that's the wrong. Is that the right set? That's, hang on a bit. Getting my sets mixed up. I'm trying to put something back on the set that's full. That's not going to work, is it? So obviously we've got the other one as well. Let's go down a size, because I think this one might need to go down a size. Let me just take this one like that. That's going to go like that. And then we miss two, so we take the smallest one, give ourselves a frame. So you can either stack that up or make it a frame. Beautiful. Can you see the potential of these? These are absolutely fantastic, aren't they? So of course you can actually take this out. Let's put that back on the ovals. See, we've been going half an hour. Who'd have thought? Right, so we could actually take, oh, where are we? We're going back in here. So you could actually take from the, oh look, that will just about fit. That's quite nice, isn't it? And then that can have a sentiment on there like that. Fabulous. So I hope, I'm going to leave you with that. So I hope you found that useful. I hope you love these charmed, new charmed collection as much as I do. Obviously it's early days yet. So it's early days. It's actually December. So it's very early days yet. So we've really just started playing with these. Obviously you'll see them in January. We're seeing this in January. I'm just saying, if you can, I know it's January, but just get them. As I said, you can find them over on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and you can also find them over at Phil's store, Honeypot Crafts. Do like and subscribe my YouTube channel. There's going to be loads and loads of videos with this collection, and there's obviously there's a lot of videos for you to get inspiration from. And of course, the beauty is that you can pause it and you can craft along if you want to as well. Thank you for watching.